go. This is your case study. Here it is. Case study assessment. I've already got it open. Let's go back here. So that's the last one. You have to use the headings because some people go off track. So I need you to use the headings to answer the question so you can keep on reading what I am asking. All right, so this case study, it's about a lady called Joan Collins. She has had a spinal injury 2 years ago in a car accident. She's paralysed from the waist down, but she is very independent. She's developed muscular atrophy in her lower limbs. Okay, straight away, there's two terminologies there that you need to, you will be describing. Joan works hard on independence, but relies on her equipment for her performance. To perform this, she has slight bladder control, but uses the catheter when going out. Joan normally lives at home as she has all her amenities to assist her and a carer and family check-in every other day. Joan has diabetes type 2, and for the past 8 years, Jo is in control of her blood sugar levels and checks on them 2 hours before and after meals. Okay, so there's a little bit about what's happened and the incident of why Joan is in hospital and what they've done for her as well. Okay, now when we go to the questions, I want you to, in your own words, write 1 or 2 paragraphs about Joan, her current condition of why she is in hospital, and anything else about Joan of how she was before. Okay, so, you know, she was independent, she had family checking on her, she had a carer coming in, she used to monitor her own blood sugar level, so just and why she's in hospital as well. So a good healthy paragraph on that, so you can understand, you can show me understand why she's here and how she was before. And then another paragraph, and you feel free to use these headings, positives and negatives, on her health and well-being. So this is a holistic approach. So on her health and well-being, how is she feeling now she's not with family? How is she mentally think if she's feeling? Spiritually, how do you think she might be coping with this? And physically, how do you think she's coping and feeling with this? Not all negatives, guys. There's a lot of positives in this as well. Okay, so positives and negatives. Always think the cup is full, not half empty. So that's probably 184 page there, almost. Okay, number 3, describe in a few sentences the terminology listed below. So, of course, a few sentences, not one word, right? If you want to get a better mark, I need you to expand on this. So, a fever. Yes, a fever is when the temperature has gone high, but what is happening in the body and what are the signs and symptoms of a fever, okay? And why do you have a fever? All right, what is the cause of a fever? What is the fever doing to the body? Top marks for that instead of just saying it's high temperature. Blood sugar levels, paralysed in general, okay, not specific to the L2 because it gets too complex, but paralysed in general, it's a little bit less, and atrophy, muscular atrophy, where the muscles are wasting away. Why? Next 2 questions. So that could possibly almost take up an A4 page, could possibly. Maybe not quite, but if you're going to put a few small pictures in there, you may, but it could possibly. Okay, questions 4 and 5, a paragraph on catheters and how they are used, including precautions. Okay, so there are quite a few different types of catheters out there, different size catheters, different material and texture catheters as well, and different catheters for male and female. How are they used? Okay, we all know where they go used, but I want to talk to you about the mechanisms of them and what are the precautions. Okay, so there are quite a few safety precautions, definitely with infection control. There's a few precautions with that, but also the mechanisms. You can't just yank them out because it would cause them excruciating pain. Why? Where is the peg? How is the urine being monitored? Where is the bag normally? There's many different types out there. Love it if you would use more images than writing, because then you're basically talking about your image and it's fantastic. Paragraph on the meaning of intravenous antibiotics or intravenous in general and precautions when somebody is on intravenous medication. Bit more so to do with infection control. Cool, so quite a healthy bit there. You know, you need to really get started. Right. Now then, oh, I haven't got that. We've taken out skin ulcers. Let me just delete that. We have taken out skin ulcers. If you've already done it, fantastic, because we did it before in class, okay? So you've only got 3 here. You've only got 3 to do, but the 3 you are doing are very, very deep, okay? So urinary tract infection. What major body system does this disease or disorder affect? So it affects the whole of the urinary system, because there are so many different types of urinary tract infections that you need to know where the urinary tract infection is to make it more specific. Describe in detail how the system should function well. So that's when you want to talk about how the kidneys filter, the pathway of the filtrate, the pathway of the urine and into the bladder and exits the body, and how it functions well and homeostasis. Now, if you have a urinary tract infection, what is happening? How is it affecting the system? There are 4 main types of urinary tract infections. There's cystitis, polonitis, there's glomerulitis, and there is urethritis and vaginitis. So pick maybe about 3 common urinary tract infections, and I want you to describe which area of the urinary system it's affecting and how is it affecting. Cool. Now the signs and symptoms are all the same, basically. They're all the same if the urinary tract infection has been there for a while, or your fever, your pain and urinating, wanting to urinate frequently but can't, and blah, smell, colour. It'd be good to know you to say how it should look as well, how urine should look and smell. It shouldn't have a aggressive odour. Then you're going to answer, caregivers appropriate response management to assist with the case of the client with this condition. Communication, practical cares, equipment, blah. So if you know someone's got a urinary tract infection, they are going to want to be urinating frequently and they are in pain. So you need to monitor their pain levels. Is it getting worse? You want to monitor the smell of the urine, how often, probably the fluid intake as well, their temperature, their facial colors, their skin integrity. And you want to make sure, because their urine is now way more acidic, that it's not going to cause skin ulcers or any aggressiveness of the skin integrity. What tools or methods would you use? Okay, so you can combine this with what your RN would use as well. Okay, your tools and methods would again be, you can repeat a little bit of pain threshold, 1 to 10, smell of the urine, is it clearing up, is the antibiotics working, are they feeling better, has their temperature changed, has their blood pressure changed, and general well-being. You want to then start looking into what an RN or GP may do. Okay, I want you to look into that a little bit depth. If for some reason it's not getting better, there could be something that the client is doing correctly. Okay, and it's got to be something that you might go, I wonder why it's not getting better. Is she taking the medication regularly? But it's on intravenous. Let's see if it's blocked. I don't know. So start doing quite a bit of research. Chronic renal failure, again, it's a broad disease, okay? Chronic renal failure, so that's kidney failure. There are many types of kidney failures. There's polycystic kidney failure, okay? There's different types. So you might want to list what different types of kidney failure there is and then just stick to one, but all the signs and symptoms are the same. Your appropriate response management for kidney failure would be the same once you know the signs and symptoms and how well and normal it should be. There'll be a lot of breathlessness in there, tiredness, there'll be blue fingers, circulation and so forth. You'll know if they get worse, they'll be getting confused because of all the toxins in their body that's not draining away. So that will come into this tools and methods and observations you may use as well. And I want you to put in there what the ongoing effect, what the RN or the GP may do when you are observing someone with chronic kidney failure. So these are really big. These are really big. That's why there's only 3 of them. Now, diabetes type 2, you want to say about which system. Okay, it's to do with 2 systems, the digestive system, and it's to do with the endocrine system. Your pancreas has 2 jobs to do. So I would like you to refer it mainly to your digestive system. The pancreas is what gives out pancreatic juices and insulin, doesn't it? And insulin captures the sugars, so it keeps your body on a level plateau. and when you're feeling low, the insulin can be released and so forth. So I want you to talk in depth about what is happening in the what the pancreas is doing in the digestive system. I want you to say how it should normally work, and then I want you to tell me what is going wrong with the pancreas when someone has diabetes type 2. Signs and symptoms of when they're having a diabetic attack, not even attack, a diabetic event, okay? Appropriate response management. Appropriate response management to assist with cares of the client. So you're going to be looking at diet, you're going to be looking at insulin control, looking at their exercise and so forth, and how you're going to get communication. Are they logging it and so forth? And you want to know if any signs and symptoms have got worse. And the last one, tools, methods, observation to monitor and measure changes. This is when you talk about the glucose test that they can have with a fingerprint that they do themselves. What do the readings mean? When should you be concerned? If they are high or low, what is the appropriate response that you can do as a healthcare assistant? You can do, okay? So there are certain things that you can do. You can monitor, you can provide with someone that's having a diabetic low or a diabetic high. All right. And then if it gets out of control, when you tell the RN, GP, or 111, what do you think is going to happen after that? Okay, so even though it looks lighter, it ain't. Get stuck in. Here's your rubric. It's very similar to the last one, okay? But as you can see, most of your marks are all in this part here, okay? This part here is your biggest. So go hard on those diseases, those 3 diseases and disorder. Oh, I need to change that to 3 now because I got rid of it. So I'll make sure I change all that to 3. All right, I really look forward to reading all these. Yeah, it's going to be great. I love it. Speak soon. Bye.